before we do anything, to attach the pouch to the lining portion of the bag, you need a male and a female part of Velcro tape, or you can do magnetic snaps, or you can do the spring snaps, which I haven't tried before. So I'm gonna do with what I'm comfortable with, which is the um the Velcro. Okay. So we're going to add the male. I think this is the male Velcro to the bottom of the lining, and we're gonna sew it on, and we're gonna center it. So I'm gonna put a crease at the middle, and then we're gonna center it so it looks like this. Okay, so we're gonna sew it down. We're gonna sew all the way down. So nothing happens, because the double-sided tape will not hold it completely. Now, and we're going to do some 90-degree triangles. Well, not 90 degree. Well, 90 degree, but 45 angle. So, it's just look. It doesn't have to be perfect, but alright, so this is what your lining should look like. This is the front with the triangles, and this is the back. Now, this is the part I forgot. We all make mistakes, but that's okay. We're going to stitch the lining and the bottom together. So I'm going to put some clips around. And I'm glad I noticed that while I was doing the video. I'm always making mistakes. Anytime I'm doing a video, there's always a mistake. But if I'm doing the pattern on my own, it goes like a breeze. I don't know. Maybe it's nerves. I have no idea. Alright, so we're going to sew the bottom and the lining at a 1/4 seam allowance. What I like about this machine, you can control the speed and everything. So, we have this. Alright, now we have this. Now we can do exactly what I was going to do before. I apologize. So you're going to take one of the inner parts and one of the exterior. So the bottom piece and one of the exterior are going to be right sides together. I'm going to just clip in place, just so nothing moves. And then we're going to take the inner part with the lining. Hence, that's why the lining is supposed to match with the lining, and I noticed I didn't have it. So we're going to sandwich these two together. So when we flip them around, it'll be front and back. Okay? So we're going to put these together. And trust me, taking out that piece was okay. No harm was done to the bag. So we're okay. Alright, so like I said before, we're going to sew at a 1/4 seam allowance. Don't forget to back stitch at the beginning and the end. This is so they're all one piece. Alright. Okay, so let me just put down some of this vinyl. So thick. Alright. So this is what we have. Now we're going to leave the bottom by itself, and we're going to attach these two together. This is the outside, this is the inside, hence the lining. So let's do that part. Just want to clip the top first. So starting from the bottom, I'm going to clip. Let me make my little crease as before. So go ahead and clip around that. Do not worry about the rough edges because they will be covered with the bias tape. Let's get this in here. And I love this design. The only reason I really love it is because there's no birthing of the bag. The binding is easy. Just the structure itself is easy. So I really love this pattern. I'm clipping down my interfacing because that's what's showing really. So don't mind me. Alright, so like before I mentioned, we are going to sew around all this, and it's going to be just one piece. Okay? Alright, so here we go. So back stitch at the beginning and the end. I like to hold my toes. Be careful with the curves. And there we go. This is the inside. That's the outside so far. That's one side. Cutting out my interfacing. I don't know why it's showing through. Yep. This little side. Alright, so now we're going to do the same thing to the other side. So, these are going to be faced together. Okay, so yep, make sure I'm doing this right. Just clip in place just so you know where to add the inside piece. Alright, so remember, the outside and the bottom are supposed to be right sides together. And then now, we're going to add the inside. So when we flip it around, it'll be back and inside. So let's connect these two together. The more clips the better because it holds it in place. They do their jobs. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing. At 1/4 seam allowance, we're going to connect the bottom with the other side. Back stitch, beginning and the end. I love these industrial machines because they can handle so much layer. So much. Alrighty. So thick. Alright, so this is what we have. So now we're going to take this and this and clip them together. Start with the top, just secure. I'm going to start with the side. Give my bottom a nice little crease. Nice little crease. Okay, there we go. And there's different ways you can do this bag without having the makeup compartment for the brushes and everything, so you don't necessarily have to say that it's just for makeup, because it could be something for your tools, any type of tools, really. Well, not working tools, but like sewing notions, crafting. Like I made one for my friend and she was like, oh my god, it doesn't fit all my makeup. I was like, well, it's not made to fit all your makeup that you have. It's like when you're on the go, you have something to carry some of your most important makeup and brushes. And then she asked me to see if I can do it at a bigger size, so I'm not sure about that. But we will check and see, because she wants a bigger version. And she's willing to pay, which I don't mind, because she offered. And since I'm making it, okay. Alright, so just like we did the other side, we're gonna go all the way around at a 1/4 seam allowance. Back stitch at the beginning and the end. I like to move my tails. your curves, be very careful with them. I like to just move the bag with my hand. So now I'm going to a curve, so I'm going to take my time. And you don't want to stop in between, or you can hand crank your machine like some people do, but I don't think you need to. Just move the bag along. Alright, so clip away those threads. Alright. This part is almost done. Look at that. Now it's time for the binding. So just clip the excess of this lining. Alright, so just to show you, the zipper out of the way. This is what we have so far. Ooh, don't worry about this. This is all going to be covered. So this is what we have so far. I don't have any name tags yet, name plates, but hopefully I will be. And then look at the bottom. Look how nice that looks. So now it's time to add the binding. I don't have orange, which I originally wanted to match with the bottom and the top. So I'm going to use yellow since it's colorful. I want it to match, but it's okay. So I'm going to use yellow. So to do that, this was a Christmas gift because what I did for my family and friends, I made an Amazon wish list. And because I started sewing, I put a lot of items on my wish list. And I got a bunch of these colors for double fold bias tape. It's 55 yards. It's polyester. And it's from www.mandalacraftsinc.com. And it also has a number on it. But you can get it off Amazon. It's a good price. 55 yards. Alright, so we're going to start at the bottom. And I learned this from Alex Radu when she was doing the backstitch sew along for this bag. So when you're using the binding, let me put it here. She always says to use the shorter length because there's two lengths to it. I don't know if you guys can see. The outside part is a longer length versus the inside because you can open it up. So we're going to put the shorter length on the outside and we're going to clip in place. I'm going to show you exactly what I'm doing. Exactly what I'm doing before I get started. And this is the easiest part. Everybody asks me, do I hand sew it? No, I do not. I don't have time for that because I'm still new to sewing. So whatever is easier for me, I'm going to do it. And it's pre-made. So yeah. So what I did was I lined the shorter part with my edge and I'm going to stitch along this crease here throughout the whole bag. So I'm going to start, my binding tape, my bias tape is to the right of me. So I'm going to start at the bottom. Moving my thread. There we go. I'm going to put my needle down so I know where I'm starting. go. Alright, so we're going to sew all the way around our bag. Okay? And you will see how we complete the outer part. Just cutting away these frays. Alright, so we are going to back stitch at the beginning and the end. So follow with me. This is on that side. And as I go, I'm just going to unwind it. Remember, if you have the pre-made bias tape, you are going to stitch on the crease of the smaller portion that is closest to the edge. So unwind your tape. This is what I do. Unwind it, and get as close as you can on the crease. So now we're coming to a curve. So I'm going to continue, and then I'm going to curve my bias tape because it allows you to. And I'm just going to move my bag. I'm not moving the bias tape. I'm just leaving the bias tape where it's at and just moving the bag along. So it makes a nice curvature to it. And you have like 4 curves when you're doing this bag, so be mindful. Now if you make your own bias tape, more power to you. I'm just going to get the easy way out and use the pre-made bias tape. Oops, sorry. I'm hiding you guys from seeing. So here we go. On the crease, that's what I'm doing. Only on the crease. I'm sewing on. Unwind it, unwind it. I wish I had orange for this. So we're coming to a corner. So I place my binding at the curve, and then I'm just moving my bag. Be mindful of your magnetic snaps because your foot can get in the way. So I'll curve it and just move my bag. There we go. And the more you practice, the better you get, because I could not move my bag with one hand while sewing like I just did. Alright, so we're almost at the beginning where we started, so we're going to overlap it. So hold on. Alright, so I overlapped my and then I'm going to cut it. So that's all we really needed. I don't know how much that was, and I never measured. But so far, this is what we have, you guys. Look. All the way around. But we're not done yet. So now this part, I'm going to make sure it overlaps with the beginning. So then now, you're going to go around and just fold it. Fold it. Now if you feel that this part is a little bulky, just kind of cut it down just a little bit where the zipper is. So we're just folding it over, folding it over. So as you fold it over, I'm just going to clip it so you guys can see what I'm doing. And when you fold it over, it should cover your stitches from the bead. So you see these stitches here, it's because it's yellow. These stitches here, it will cover it. And that's the point of doing it that way. So I'm going to pin them in place. Make sure when you're at the curve, you have no creases or folds. I'm not a perfectionist, but I like my things to look nice. And it's looking good. Proud of myself, I must say. And before I stitch, I'm going to show you how it covers all your stitches. And if you pre-make your bias tape, that's fine, because you should be able to cover it. Some people make it thicker than the pre-made bias tape. So here, I want them to match. Make sure it covers it. This part isn't tedious, it's just making sure that it covers the original stitching that you did from the inside. And that's what gives you a nice stitch from the outside. Like, it's unison, it's completely in the middle. And then the few bags that I made so far, everybody's saying, how do you get your stitching on your binding so neatly? Well, this is exactly what I did. I followed the video that Alex Radu did on backstitch backroom when we did the sew along. I followed that to the T, and it's still on YouTube. I forgot her YouTube name, but just look up Alex Radu, R-A-D-U. Alrighty. The more clips, the better. It's not just to look pretty, but just to keep it in place. Alright, so this is what we have. Okay, so the colors look okay to me, but I would prefer orange. I'm gonna get my charger so it doesn't stop on you guys. Charge me full. Otherwise, it will. It will cut off. Alright, so here we go. So this is what we have all the way around. So now we are going to stitch at the edge. Well, not here, sorry. At the edge of the inside. Not complete at the edge, but just a little bit, like a 1/8 inch. So I'm going to start with this bottom piece here. And remember to back stitch the beginning and the end. And make sure you keep a constant pace and stitching. So if your bag, if you have a wall like I do, move this part so you don't mess up your stitching. Now we're coming to a curve. So I'm taking my time, moving my bag. See, I'm just easily moving my bag. I don't got that comfortable enough to do that. So we're coming to the part where we first started, and my thing was lifting, so I need to make sure it does not lift. There we go. Curve, curve, curve. Curve, curve, curve. Whatever way to finish. Curve, curve, curve. And we're done. We are done. OMG. Look how that binding is so nicely done. See? No worries. Alright, so that's that. We got the inside done.